It has finally arrived. Townsfolk Tussle, Foul Neighbors, and the Odd Jobs item expansion, as well as the upgrade pack for the first edition of Townsfolk Tussle, has finally arrived. Just came in to my doorstep today, and I'm super excited to rip it open and share it with you guys. This is going to be a really, really exciting unbox. I've been waiting for this one for a very long time, and if you are sort of new to the channel, I know some of my more recent subscribers are probably from the Marvel Crisis Protocol community. Well, this was also a general game board and tabletop enthusiast channel, and I did cover this game called Townsfolk Tussle, which is a fantastic, 2 to 5 player sort of boss battler game with an amazing aesthetic, similar to a video game like Cuphead, for example, like that old school cartoon style. And yeah, I'm really excited to dive into this. I'm excited to see sort of what the final product looks like. If you have been with this channel for a fairly long time and you did see me cover Townsfolk Tussle earlier, Panic Roll was gracious enough to send me the prototype last year, or was it earlier this year? Last year, I believe. Last year, I think. It's been a long time. And they sent me the prototype to check out for the expansions, and I did a video on that. If you want to go back and sort of see what the difference is maybe between the prototype, I'll probably have to go back and just sort of refresh myself as well, because I'll be honest, I don't remember 100% exactly all the main differences that might be from the final product and the prototype. But yes, and also to the Marvel Crisis Protocol fans, I will be also doing an update on my Crisis Protocol collection, because it has grown quite a bit. But today we are talking about Townsfolk Tussle and the new expansion. So let's dive into it first. We'll start off with sort of the more boring things, get that out of the way, I guess. We'll make this section a little bit quicker. We'll just open up the upgrade pack for the first edition of Townsfolk Tussle. So if you are unfamiliar with the first edition, there are some sort of new changes and additions to the game in terms of the rules. For example, one of the main rules that they're updating with the game is you can use your Moxie to re-roll dice, which is a very, very fantastic and welcome change that I think the game very much needed. When you're only rolling one dice to figure out results for attacks and successes and things like that, it can always be sad when it doesn't go your way. And usually a lot of the time you do have sort of like an extra moxie to spend. So let's see what we got here. So it looks like we have some new wordings and things like that for a lot of the items. Now I believe some of these, let me just double check. Some of these are special gear, but I don't know if they are, I can't remember if they are unlockable. My friends and I have unlocked every single equipment in the base game. We have played quite a bit of it. I'm not going to go and read through all of these, but they essentially are going to be just sort of updates in wording and rulings and clarifications and things like that, typos, all that fun stuff. So that's just for some of the base items like Norman's Fish Boys and looks like Norman Fish Boy was the only one who had a starter thing adjacent. It might be also balance changes potentially. I'm trying to remember what Fishy Cat does in the base game, but I think that's pretty much the same what it does. Also, it's really, really bright outside, so I apologize. The lighting is not the best. Looks like we got a Lawman Dozy adjustment. Not really sure what's going to be changed there. I'm fairly certain that they'll probably have some sort of like... I wonder if they'll have like a pamphlet that goes over every single difference and change in the game. Looks like we got turn cheat sheets, so just probably more rules and clarifications, because I'm guessing muster your moxie. Yes, yeah, here it is. Muster your moxie. So at the bottom, that's a new rule that wasn't in the base game, where you got to use 2 moxie to re-roll your terrain result or accuracy roll. And actually, let me just see if I can change. We're gonna just do this real time and hope it doesn't break anything. There we go. That might look a little better on camera. Cool. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Looks like we have some AI cards as well that have been redone and retyped out. Again, not really sure if it's mainly just typo stuff or balance changes, things like that, but all the basic stuff seems like there for terrain cards as well. And then we got also town events. I wonder if they actually added town events. I'm guessing they might have added town events as well for the expansion. That'd be pretty cool. All right, so we got a new rule book. Again, it's just going to probably add in the extra rules and the clarifications and things like that. I wonder if they probably expanded like their FAQ. So nothing to go over with there. Oh, we actually get another map. This is cool. So this is sort of just the Eureka Springs and the Hose Lands, or the main world you explore in this, and sort of all the different locations from where the bosses are. Cool. Nice. We got another one for that. I should like frame one of those. That'd be nice. Oh, perfect. Well, here we go. Look at this. Townsfolk Tussle upgrade pack. It looks like it does go through all the changes. They should have put this on top, and then I wouldn't have to waste my time wondering what was going on. So it gives you instructions on how to upgrade your base game, what's sort of has all included. So a lot of them are clarity fixes. So they're not going to change like a ton of stuff for like balancing purposes, but a lot of them are mainly typos and things like that. And then we also do get updated tokens as well, which is nice because the base game, I believe, does not have the image on one side and the name on the other. I think, if I remember correctly, it's just the name on one side. So it's cool that we got we got the new additions for that. And then we got a new skip first round, begin the game with X amount of coins if you want to play a 3-round game rather than a full 4-round game. So very, very cool there. I'm just going to throw all these and just keep things all nice and tidy, but super, super awesome to see. Very, very straightforward for the upgrade pack. Nothing too crazy there. I'm very much looking forward to just playing this all week. This is also super well timed just because I booked some time off work for this weekend, for the long weekend, for Remembrance Day weekend. So I'm actually off work for like it's a 4-day long weekend for me. So this is like the perfect time because I might have to like do a solo play of this and sort of just explore the new stuff. But I am going to be playing this with my friends tomorrow, and everyone's super, super excited to dive in because this is one of my groups and mine's favorite games on my board game shelf. Which is saying something because I got a lot of board games. All right, let's see. Let's crack open the Odd Jobs expansion next. So this is going to be the one that's focused mainly on the peddler. So it's going to add new peddler items. It's also going to add in rolls. Actually, let me just double check. Over 160 new pieces of gear, 20 roll cards, and new deployable gear. Right. This is going to be sort of the item focused one. So this isn't going to include like the bosses or anything like that, but it is going to include loot. And I am what one would call a loot whore. So we got to get all the loot we can. I'm very excited for this because the rolls were such a cool addition when we played the prototype. My friends really enjoyed getting the rolls. There were some issues, I think, in terms of balance. I'm definitely curious. I'm going to have to like pull up the prototype box and sort of see what the differences they made. Because I do remember a couple of the rolls being just extremely powerful, to the point of like being a little bit boring to play, like because it was just sort of broken, I would say. So we got the rule book for the Odd Jobs expansion. This is going to tell you probably how to implement it into the base game and sort of how to adjust it, because I do believe that when you do play the game, you have to choose whether or not you are going to be playing with the peddler deck or just the base game cards. Yes, when playing the expansion, do not use the base game peddler gear. It is replaced by the Odd Jobs peddler deck. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but I guess that does make sense just in terms of actually having the right tools to actually run things. Because if you diluted the base game deck with the Odd Job gear deck, you wouldn't be able to get what you need for the rolls. Because the rolls require, if you're unfamiliar with the rolls they're sort of class cards that when you have a certain amount of cards for that roll, you can essentially take over that roll and you get extra abilities and bonuses and things of that nature. I'm very excited to see sort of the full set because we didn't have in the prototype, I think there was only 10, I believe. Only 10 rolls, and I think it looks like, yeah, there was... looks like there is 20, right? Yeah, 20 roll cards. Wow, that's so many. Super, super love it. We got a bunch of thumbs up stickers. Thumbs up. Not really sure what those are for. Probably to mark down when you've unlocked certain things. Got a bunch of icons. I love the art. Big props to the artists for this game, of course, because it's one of the best things about this game is it just oozes style, and it's just super, super thematic. So we got a bunch of tokens for the equipment, in case they need those. Oh, it looks like we got I love the sort of the way they do the rule book and stuff like that. We got the Peddler's Journal. So this is the Operation Save Eureka Springs. Right, these are the expeditions. So this is a big mechanic that was not available in the prototype, where you actually do have sort of quests and little story hooks. I won't show too much, of course, but essentially you don't want to spoil yourself. You have to go to certain pages and things like that once you actually complete things to unlock stuff, and that is where you can sort of see the thumbs up icon. So that's where the stickers are going to be going. Begin your scavenging journey here. Complete your preparations for the first 3 locations to widen your search for loot. At the beginning of game, review the preparations needed for your current expedition. At the end of each game, win or lose, that's nice, add a sticker to each preparation you've completed. For more information on how to use the Peddler's Journal, check page 8 of the Odd Jobs rulebook. So this is going to be just another way to unlock special gear and things like that, and just have certain requirements. So for example, this one here is just end the game with a scrap suit gear, or end the game with the instigator role. So it's super cool. Again, just more ways to play the game to have sort of end game goals. My friends and I really loved that aspect of the that roguelite aspect of the base game, where you really are meant to play it over and over again to sort of unlock new gear and secret gear and special starting loadouts, things like that. So here we have the role card. So here are the different classes. So we have the Town Crier. So this one was in the prototype. Whenever you prevent or reduce damage, you gain +1 accuracy for the fight, and if you have 5 accuracy, your Town Crier weapons deal 1 damage. We got the Farmer, another one that was in the base prototype. Field Ambusher, you get +2 to your terrain rolls. Whenever you interact with terrain and the ruffian is within 4 squares, you deal 1 damage to the ruffian. I think that one might have been changed. I remember one of the rolls feeling very weak. Also, here's the backside of them. I love the tarot card sort of esque nature of them. Again, super thematic, super cool. We have the Cook, meal prep. Immediately receive the modular meal unique gear. Discard modular meal if you change roles. Whenever you consume, choose another townsfolk at the start of their turn. They also consume that consumable. Oh, that is a very cool thing. I don't believe the Cook was in the prototype, so I think that is a new one, because I don't remember that mechanic we played with. The Mourner, Miracle Tears. Whenever another townsfolk is knocked out, you may immediately place them adjacent to you with a 1 HP usable once per fight. Ooh, a life-saving one. I love stuff like that. Definitely clinch in special situations. I think the Mourner might not have been in the base game as prototype. I say base game. Sorry, I mean I keep referencing the prototype. I realize not many people played the prototype. You are the Instigator, so the Antagonizer ability. After attacking the ruffian a 3rd time in a single turn, gain +1 Moxie for the fight. That's a really good one. I like that one. +1 Moxie, so that just gives you +1 max Moxie, I'm assuming. I mean, just +1 Moxie is pretty sweet overall. The Showman, the Showman was in the prototype as well. Deafening Melody. When you activate your 2nd instrument, each ability each turn, you may lower your accuracy by 1 to deal 1 damage to the ruffian. I love the ability adjustment abilities in this game, just because you can make stuff for some really great synergies. Just opens up builds. Tinkerer, this is one, I believe, one of the ones that was extremely strong. So this one I feel like they might have changed. Remove a total of 2 counters from your Tinkerer gear during a fight. Reveal the top card of the Peddler deck. You may choose to receive it. If you don't, discard it, then deal 1 damage to the ruffian and gain 1 Moxie for the fight. I think that one might be different. Or maybe just be one of the equipments that we use. But I do remember the Tinkerer being like super strong. The Detective, this is, I think, a new one. At the start of your turn, you may discard the top card of the action deck. If you do, and that action would have targeted you, gain +1 movement for the fight. Oh, that's a cool one. So if you build like a tanky character, you can make sure that you can force this to happen, or increase your chances of it happening, I guess. The Colony, this is also another very strong. This is a very cool one as well. You essentially turn into like a zombie that gets a parasite attached to them. If you are knocked out, leave your townsfolk on the board for the rest of the fight. You cannot take damage. You are not considered to be a townsfolk except for movement and collision purposes. During your turn, you may only move and activate colony gear abilities. So it's a very cool card. My friend got this one, and it ended up being very strong, just because you essentially because you don't die, it's just you're invincible. And the colony gear is actually pretty decent from what I remember, unless they changed it. So yeah, quite strong. Ooh, the Manic Bar. Looks like a new one. I don't remember this art. Chaotic Rhythm. Whenever you deal damage with an instrument, your next instrument ability or instrument attack this turn costs 0 Moxie. That's a good one. Man, that's really insane if there's some like really high cost Moxie, just hit with like a cheap instrument and then make the expensive instrument cost 0. You are the Royal, another new one that I don't remember seeing. Coin Hoarder. Pay 5 coins at any time. Gain a sack of coins, unique gear of your choice. 3 maximum. Discard all sack of coins if you change roles. Not really sure what the sack of coins does, but I'm assuming it's something based on how much coins you have on you. I love those types of abilities. The Trash Lord, this is another new one. I love the art on this. Scrap Recycler. Whenever another townsfolk sells or discards a piece of gear they own, you may pay 1 coin to place the gear underneath one of your Trash Lord gear. Interesting. So I'm guessing the Trash Lord gear probably gets stronger with the more items attached to it. Just a hunch. Another new one, the Untamed. Survival Instincts, the first time you would take damage on each of your turns, prevent it. Just a super strong, flat ability that doesn't require a lot of thinking. You just gotta go unga bunga, bash their face, and you're just tankier as well. That's really strong as well, because it's not like a reduction in damage, but like by 1 or something like that. It's just the first time you would take damage on each of your turns, you prevent it entirely. And the way Townsfolk Tussle generally works is you do get to a state where you can predict stuff and you can play the boss a little bit. So being able to just, if you know the boss is gonna hit you for like 3 damage, being able to prevent that entirely is pretty insane. The Outlaw. Collect bounty. If you have no unaccomplished feats, immediately recover a feat and 2 coins. This can occur once per round. That's a pretty... the economy ones are pretty interesting. I think they're definitely strong, but it's a little bit risky, I guess, because if you do have unaccomplished feats, you just... this is essentially a blank card. So these are always sort of high risk, high reward. I feel like abilities like this aren't as strong as abilities that you can just have in the battlefield, because that is the main part of the game. And I feel like coins and stuff like that, and they generally, you're not generally too low on coins. But who knows, especially maybe with the way the new deck is and stuff like that, probably will make a difference. We got the Clown. So the Clown has Entertaining Fighter. Whenever you deal damage to the ruffian with a gear ability, gain 1 movement for the fight. As long as you're on the board with 10 movement, all other townsfolk have +2 Moxie. Holy moly, 10 movement? I mean, I know some of the base game characters can get up there, especially, and definitely with the right gear combination, I'm sure that won't be too difficult. But that's pretty insane. I like that. That's really, really cool. I love movement. I love being mobile in board games and tabletop games. So I'm probably gonna be a clown. We have the Manager. I love the art. I love the sad bucket there. Give the orders. You may place an unlimited amount of deployables on the landscape. Once per turn, you may place any deployable currently on the board onto an empty square adjacent to you. Interesting. You may place an unlimited number of deployables on the landscape. So I'm guessing the base game or the base rules probably limit you on how many deployables you can place at the start, or just in general. Oh yeah, that's true. I think from the prototype, I think that was one of the rules. I think you could only have 1 deployable at a time. So having multiple deployables, that was the thing, is like some of the Tinkerer deployables were really, really strong. So if you could have an unlimited number of those and you could just keep moving them around, that seems like a really, really strong one. The Hookster. Vendor access. Keep the top card of the Peddler deck revealed. During a fight, any townsfolk may purchase that gear on their turn and equip it immediately. That's a really strong one too. Obviously very RNG, but that's a very, very fun ability as well. We have the Glory Hog. So the Glory Hog, I believe the Glory Hog was in the prototype as well. Shows off strength when attacking the ruffian. If your accuracy roll after modifiers is 12+, it is considered a crit hit. That's a really, really strong ability too, because there are a lot of ways to buff your accuracy. So getting just guaranteed crits every turn, that can be pretty insane, because the crit table, I mean, that could also be detrimental just because of the base game works. If you don't know what the way the base game works, how Townsfolk Tussle works, there's a critical table you roll on when you get a critical hit or a natural roll of 10. And so one of the options is you lose the rest of your turn and the ruffian gets to immediately go. So that might not always be the best thing if your rolls are bad like mine are. We have the Butcher. Dinner is served whenever you consume. Place a counter on this card. Maximum 3 counters. Remove 3 counters from this card. Restore 1 HP to all townsfolk on the board. That's a very, very strong one. Definitely a very cool ability as well. And last but not least, we have the mascot. Hidden Intentions. That is it's a little bit of a creepy face. After restoring HP to another townsfolk or granting them a stat bonus, the next mascot gear ability you activate this turn costs 0 moxie. This can occur once per turn. After restoring HP to another townsfolk or granting them a stat bonus. That's nice, very flexible. So they're very specialized, as you can see. Obviously, and the gear cards are going to play into these, obviously, because you do only get the roll when you, I believe, get 3 items. I think there's a certain limit. Again, I probably should have refreshed myself on the prototype after I'm doing this, but I was just so excited to unbox this stuff. Either way, there's just a certain amount of gear for a specific roll that you need before getting the roll. So we got peddler gear, odd job. So there's just dividers here with the peddler right there, the nice character. We got some tasty silica tokens. All right, let's get the silica bag out of there because we're not going to need that. Here are just tokens, counters for items. It's nice they gave us extra of these because I wasn't really sure what else I was going to use. And here we have a bunch of the gear. So this is going to be probably more special gear. You can sort of see. You can sort of see right there. This is like for the town crier and the showman. So it is nice that there's like multi-class. So you can, while you're getting items of one thing, you still might have the opportunity to fall into another role. So I do like how there's dual roles for a lot of these items. Ooh, interesting. This deck contains locked gear. Wait, so this is the locked deck. The other deck is not the locked deck. So the majority of the items, it looks like they are going to be locked. So that I'm guessing that's obviously where the expeditions go. But so it looks like we only start with these ones. Interesting. All right, it looks like there's going to be a lot of replayability for this one. I'm very excited. I mean, my friends and I got like so much game time out of the base game. So I feel like this one's just going to like double that. So very excited to jump into that. That's one of the best parts about this game because of the roguelike aspect. I love unlocking new gear. Just the excitement of sort of figuring out what you unlock and sort of realizing that those items are going to be available for the next run, which is going to make the build variety even better. Super cool. All right, let's take a look at the main ticket. So this is going to be the Foul Neighbors expansion. This is going to add a bunch of new bosses. You also see 2 new characters for the base game. I apologize, I do not remember their names. They'll probably have them on their back. So we have word of the sheriff's demise has finally reached our neighboring towns, and their residents are looking to take advantage of our little slice of heaven. Do you have what it takes to keep Eureka Springs safe from this unexpected scoundrels? Let's hope so. Foul Neighbors brings 8 new ruffians, 2 new townsfolk, and more complexity to the Townsfolk Tussle you know and love. Base game of Townsfolk Tussle is required. Oh, super excited to dive into this. I mean, when you look at stuff like this, you know that it's just like pretty much a new game in and of itself. It's just using the previous game's framework, but like the content-wise, like this is just a new game entirely. Like 8 bosses, that's a lot. I'm trying to remember if that's like the same amount as the base game or if that's more. So here we got the rules and results. Oh man, yeah. I don't believe we got a look at all the bosses yet. All the bosses in the prototype weren't there, so that's gonna be super exciting. Like the bosses that we did fight in the prototype that my friends and I fought were really fun. Like they were mechanically more interesting than the base game. They definitely made you think more, and they were definitely tougher. I definitely am curious to see how they're going to be doing things, especially with Tardar Fish Boy. Oh, let's not go to that page. The last half of this rule book is going to be like your run end results. So when you beat a run of Townsfolk Tussle, you can go and see what you unlock if you did the special requirement for it, stuff like that, for the final fights. Very cool. Oh wait. So we got a quick play guide, and here's the added extra stuff as well for the Foul Neighbors. At the end of each game, win or lose, add the trophies of ruffians you've defeated to the trophy wall. I wonder what that means. Very cool. Oh, weird. So these are... Is this the trophy wall? These are like pages that are cutout pages. Are these stickers? Oh, they are stickers. Okay. Oh, that's very cool. So there's actually gonna be like a literal trophy wall for the ruffians' heads that we put on them. That is amazing. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Interesting. So there are... Okay, oh, right. For the base game. I was wondering why there was 20, but a bunch of these ones are from the base game, which is very, very cool. Man, that's a super fun idea. It is interesting though that they're numbered, and each one has like 2 different pieces of gear for it. So I'm guessing maybe that is because I believe these are the special pieces of gear that you can unlock from them if you're doing the special final fight requirement. So I'm guessing it's just to keep track of what you've unlocked. This is going to be another map. So we got a new map or a new page. Red got lollipops 5 coins, berry, living bundo 11 coins, patches, electric collar 3 coins, and tartar deli meats 6 coins. And this is a new map of the new area. This is Misty Bluff and Sprinkle Falls, the neighboring cities. Very, very cool. Man, I love it. I love how all the art looks. Again, that's another thing about this game is that I loved is like you always hear horror stories of production quality when it comes to Kickstarter games, but Townsfolk Tussle is easily one of the best, if not the best, Kickstarter item that I own in terms of production value. They've just very, very smart about it. So it looks like we do have a bunch of water tokens. This is going to be for Tartar, Tartar, I believe is the ruffian's name. It does not look like they've changed the mechanic. One thing that I do remember is a lot, like there's so many of these water tiles that you could potentially end up placing on the battlefield. Can get a little unwieldy. I'm wondering how much more different, if at all, that they changed, because I believe I did include that in my feedback, but it might not be that big of an issue. Maybe it just might just be a me thing. So we got some more tokens, and we got tokens for all the ruffians there. Very, very cool. And we got the new character tokens as well. So we got Judy Marks and Frigid Jones. I do remember Frigid Jones being an absolute powerhouse. Super, super cool character there. So we got, terrain tokens. We got the ruffians. Here we go. So again, we only played against, I believe they only had 4 in the prototype. So I don't remember the names offhand, but we had her, the cat, or it's not really a cat. If you look closely, it's actually a guy in a cat suit. Very, very creepy. Tartar Fish Boy, and these guys were very, very difficult as well. These guys were really, really scary. I don't remember if we fought them as the final fight, but I remember reading their final fight rules, and it was very, very sketchy. So this guy, I'm very much looking forward to fighting. He's like super creepy. Pretty much looks like a guy just wearing another guy's face almost. It isn't just a creepy mask, because you can tell his skin is sort of like ripped. But I'm very much looking forward to fighting him. This guy also looks super, super creepy. Also looking forward to fighting him. Looks like we have like a potted plant and also a apple. Apple a day, keep the doctor away. I'm guessing that's a joke there. Love it. All right, it's Patch's costume. So I'm feeling they probably changed this a little bit. I remember the prototype version obviously was very, very early, so pieces didn't really fit that great. I don't know if they changed any mechanics. Again, I'm not going to look over everything and read every single rule, otherwise this video will get way, way too long. But yeah, let's just start pulling stuff out and see what we got. So we got a bunch of extra bags just to keep track of tokens and things like that. Always nice. Every Kickstarter, take note, have a nice sort of organizer for the game and have it prepared for when people actually take out all of the tokens, that there's a place for them, that it's not going to be a hassle to repackage and put back together. Again, Panic Roll does an amazing job. They're one of those companies where it's like, they're just so good that I'm ready to like buy anything they make. So I'm very excited to see, regardless of if they expand on Townsfolk Tussle even more or if they go into a new game. I'm very excited to buy their products. So it looks like we have new mechanic. We have ambush cards for the ruffians. Not looking forward to what those are. I love the blood on the cards as well. We got a bunch of items. So we got special items, as well as it looks like we got the starting items for Frigid Jones and the other character whose name is escaping me because I have a goldfish. Oh, apologize. limit on my camera, unfortunately. Only 30-minute recording, and I always have to keep checking. I totally missed it. You didn't miss much. I like pulled out the divider and sort of the items and stuff like that. Didn't deep dive into them. Looks like we have the... I'm super excited to see more town events. Town events are probably one of my favorite parts of the game. It's always fun to sort of see how it mixes up your runs and things like that. Looks like we do also have some of the AI cards for the ruffians as well. More AI cards for the ruffians. Tartar Fish Boy. And we got the more dividers. Oh, here, so we can see some names. Actually, let's pull these ones out. Let's look at these ones, because these actually have the names of the ruffians on them, because I'm curious. So we have the cook, creepy cook guy, Ernie Offal. So it does keep track of their ruffian gear here, which is very, very cool. We have Barry Bluff. This is the creepy guy that I'm very much looking forward to fighting. Barry Bluff. The Door Knockers. Tilda Fields. Feel like she's going to be very terrain oriented. Yeah, there's like a special final fight terrain piece as well for her. Patches. I remember Patches being actually a fairly easy fight. We sort of rolled him, but I guess I think we fought him first or twice, so it was pretty early on in our run. Tartar Fish Boy, he's quite a difficult one. Red Atrocious, that's going to be the apple. And Miss Falls and Co. is the water house, water tower. We got Terrain Deck Curses. Oh my god, there's curses in the game now. That bodes well. Oh, interesting. So you have locked curses and unlocked curses. I'll show you the art on that one. Interesting. So I wonder... Okay, so I guess maybe throughout your run, the ruffians get more powerful. Probably have a chance of unlocking curses for your run, which does not bode well. We'll crack these open too. I'm not going to look over these too much, but these are like the ruffian cards, which goes over their rules, what their final fight rules are, things like that. But I do want to just showcase the art because it's just freaking fantastic. If I can get this open without ripping the bag or anything like that. Again, we won't go over every single thing, but we got Ernie Offal. There's his art, a better picture of his art right there. Super creepy. We got Barry Bluff. Probably should have did this first rather than the other cards. Door Knockers. Tilda Fields. Patches. Tartar Fish Boy. Red Atrocious. And Miss Falls and Co. I believe Miss Falls and Co. is also another very, very easy fight, in my opinion. So I wonder if they made her more difficult. The nice thing about these, though, is like they always can be more difficult just depending on where you encounter them. So if you don't know how the game works, you randomly choose 4 ruffians, and depending on which order you fought them in, whether it's the first fight, the second fight, the third fight, or the final fight, they have different rules and bonuses that they get. So they can become extremely difficult depending on where you encounter them, which is very, very interesting. I'm not going to spoil myself and read the final fight stuff yet, because obviously we will want to encounter those earlier, but you can sort of see the different terrain layouts. Each ruffian has their own terrain layout as well. So it always makes things super, super interesting. And then we have Judy Marks and Frigid Jones. So these are the new Townsfolk heroes that we will be fighting with. I believe I played... I didn't play either of these actually in the prototype. I gave my friends the option to play the new characters. But we did play both Frigid Jones and Judy Marks. Both of them were extremely strong. Frigid Jones has sort of these paintings that she can give out. So she can give out 3 paintings during a fight, and she gets 2 movement for the fight, and those paintings give whoever she gave them to extra bonuses or abilities to use for the fight. Also has the gift of art for 1 Moxie, and adjacent townsfolk receives a painting of your choice. After 3 paintings are given, this can no longer be activated. Fairly straightforward there. So it doesn't look like they change anything on her abilities. Yeah, it doesn't look like they change anything there. And then Frigid Jones, might have changed stats or something, I'm not sure. We got hide inside. You can, for 1 Moxie, hide a townsfolk inside of you. Remove an adjacent townsfolk from the board. Hiding townsfolk are placed adjacent to you at the start of their turn. If you are removed from the board, place any hiding townsfolk adjacent to you before removing yourself from the board. We also have cold storage. The cost of changing gear during a fight is reduced by 1 Moxie for you and townsfolk adjacent to you. She's probably one of the strongest characters in my opinion for Townsfolk Tussle in general. Just the hide inside is super crazy because you can obviously manipulate the boss a little bit with how things work. Just being able to protect someone is super strong. Very cool. And then cold storage, just Moxie efficiency is always a good thing. And then we got the best part. We got new figurines and new models. So we got like Miss Falls and Co. here. Really awesome models. Definitely need to paint the base game still too. I mean, I have so many models to paint in general. Red Atrocious. We got Tartar Fish Boy. We got Tartar Fish Boy's little lure, which is a little sandwich on a hook. I like how they made a token for that rather than made a cardboard token. That's awesome. Barry, what's his face? The guy who rips off the face of other people. I don't remember his name. Barry something. His model looks pretty sweet. Oh wait, this is Red Atrocious. Sorry, this was Tilda Fields. Sort of similar stature. So I got them confused. His tongue is a worm. Very gross. We got Offal, the cook. Looks like he has a bear trap next to him, and what looks to be a townsfolk limb on a chain. Not ominous at all. We have Patches, the creepy guy in a cat costume. These are like really big models too. I love them. I love the size discrepancy between the ruffians and the townsfolk. And we have the what are the names? What are their names? The door knockers. That's what these guys are called. Very cool. Very cool. And then we got the townsfolk. Yeah, Frigid Jones and Judy Marks. Awesome. Love the detail in them. They look super easy to paint as well. Not that I will ever get around to them because I am currently on a painting backlog, especially because of Marvel Crisis Protocol. But that is the box. That is going to do it for this unboxing. Quite a long one. I did want to do a little bit of a deep dive on some of the things in the box. But hopefully you all enjoyed checking out this video with me. And hopefully if you are someone who is waiting for their copy of Townsfolk Tussle, Foul Neighbors, and the Odd Jobs to arrive, hopefully this video just gets you more excited to get your copy. Again, hopefully I didn't show any spoilers on screen. I might have accidentally showed a page or two, but you should know better than to just like hover over and read every single thing in the rule book. I'm gonna shut off the camera. I'm gonna deep dive into the rule book, sort of see what the mechanics are, just so I can learn the game. Because again, I'm gonna be playing this with my friends tomorrow, and I definitely want to make sure I have all the rules refreshed in my mind to actually get the game all set up and ready to go. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Next video will probably be an update on my Marvel Crisis Protocol collection, going through all the money that I've spent for that game, and we'll have some more fun stuff along the way. I will also try and get, especially with the holidays coming up, I should have a little bit more time to record at least something a little bit longer in series. So I think we'll probably definitely break open the Foul Neighbors and Odd Jobs expansion for this channel, and at least maybe do a run or two potentially with the new expansion and the new gear and checking that stuff out. So you can all be looking forward to that. If you're new to the channel, definitely like and subscribe if you would like to. Would really appreciate the support. This channel is all about just sharing everything that I love about tabletop games and miniature games, and hopefully you'll join for the ride with me. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.